Mark Pope's debut roster is starting to come together in a hurry. Kentucky adding not one, but two commitments in a matter of hours on Wednesday. Dayton's Koby Brea got things rolling to start the day, followed by a surprise pledge from West Virginia's Kerr Kriisa. Brea joins the program as the nation's top three-point shooter, someone Pope referred to as a dangerous man. At the time of his signing, he knocked down 49.8% of his threes on 6.1 attempts per contest a year ago, leading college basketball in effective field goal percentage among guards at 71.5%, and was second in true shooting percentage among guards at 72.2%. Pope said about the signing, "By the numbers, Koby Brea is the most efficient mid to high major player in college basketball in the last decade. He's the best returning shooter in college basketball next year. He will be key in allowing us to play the style of basketball that we love the most." And that's what made this day so big. Kentucky not only adding guards, but adding guards who can shoot the ball. The second boom of the day comes in the form of Kerr Kriisa, named actually after Steve Kerr. He's a knockdown shooter in his own right at 42.4% from three on 6.3 attempts per contest this past season. The 6'3" guard averaged a career-high 11 points to go with 4.7 assists and 2.5 rebounds per contest on 42.9% shooting during his lone season in Morgantown and fourth year of college basketball after starting in Arizona. These are two major signings, and Brandon Ramsey's been looking at film of both. Here's what he has to say about a big day in Kentucky basketball.
With Brea, you're getting one of the best shooters in all of college basketball, probably the best shooter in college basketball, if we're being honest. This is a guy that made 100 threes at 49.8% shooting last season, which is just off the charts incredible, really. He's improved pretty steadily throughout his career at Dayton. He's a two-time A10 sixth man of the year, and something I talked about on Twitter earlier today. When you look at his synergy stats and some of his overall analytics between synergy and Ken Palm, like, it's really special. It's fun for somebody like me to watch. It's kind of a nerd with that stuff. He's in the 100th percentile in points per possession just overall. Like, his catch and shoot numbers are off the charts, shooting about 54% from three in catch and shoot situations. But then what I really like about Brea is I think it's easy for us as fans to sort of pigeonhole him as this just kind of pure shooter, because we see the shooting numbers, made 100 threes, and you start to think of a guy that's just going to space the floor and shoot catch and shoot shots, but he's a lot more than that. Now, he is pretty much only going to shoot threes. It's not Jack Golke numbers, but it's pretty darn close. I think 201 threes and 45 twos this season. However, he can create his own threes off of the dribble, which is a really good skill to have. It's a great way to up that volume. That's how you get 201 threes in a season, is by being able to create some yourself. And he was 98th percentile nationally per synergy in opportunities where he was the ball handler in pick and roll situations. So he can create his own threes off of ball screens. He can create his own threes when he's just, maybe against a switch. He can chop the guy up a little bit and shoot it in from beyond the arc. I think you'll see him just so seamlessly fit into an offense run by Coach Pope, and you'll see that having a staff that can scheme shooters open, like I believe this staff led by Coach Pope will be able to do. I think you'll see really the best unlocked of a guy like Koby Brea. Kerr Kriisa from West Virginia. This is a guy that some people clearly on Twitter, on the message boards, have an opinion of. He can maybe be a little brash or rough around the edges as a personality, but I think there's going to be a lot of that Kentucky fans end up sort of eating up, and within Big Blue Nation or at Rep Arena, there's a little bit of like Marshall Henderson to some of the stuff that he does. One of those guys that maybe you hate him when you're against him, but then you love him when he's one of yours. And in terms of basketball talent, like, to me, that all speaks for itself. This is a guy that, yes, it was sort of a dumpster fire last season at West Virginia, but Kriisa played 23 games, made 61 three-point shots, shooting 42.4% from three last season. Career best 11 points per game, still dished out 4.7 assists per game. Pope offense that we all sort of dreamed of. We need some shooting. We need some scoring punch. We need some playmaking. Well, earlier we've talked about Koby Brea and what he brings to the table as a shooter. Kerr Kriisa brings a lot of those same qualities. This is a guy that made 80 threes as a sophomore at Arizona, made 83 threes as a junior at Arizona. And then last year in just 23 games, as I mentioned, made 61 at a 42.4% clip. He was 98th nationally, I believe, in points per possession in spot-up attempts. So this is a guy that also plays really well off the ball, and I like how he fits, to me, so seamlessly in the backcourt with a guy like Lamont Butler. By the time we go to bed on Wednesday night, with adding Brea and now Kriisa, there should really be no more worry about how Kentucky will shoot the ball this season.
So let's try to wrap all of this up. Entering the past weekend, Kentucky only had 3 players on their roster. They have now signed 9 for their 24-25 campaign. And here's a look at who Kentucky is also targeting to try to fill this roster out. Stay tuned for more. Make sure you've subscribed to KSR on YouTube to not miss anything. And also, to get to this news first, make sure you're subscribed to KSR Plus and along with KS Board. We will see you next time. Thanks for watching.